In order to use the inking tools within PowerPoint, you need to make sure that you have access to the inking tools. So if you don't see the Draw tab up in your ribbon, and also we'll go ahead and show you how to add the Recording tab to your ribbon as well if you don't have that, we need to go to the File menu and customize your ribbon. Microsoft calls that area at the top the ribbon. So again, we're going to click File, go down to Options, and then we are customizing the ribbon. This again is the section called the ribbon. And you have a list of commands on the left and tabs on the right. So customizing the ribbon really means adding tabs. So as you can see here, the Draw tab is not checked, so we'll check that. If you also don't have the Recording tab checked, go ahead and check that. The Recording tab is actually what I'm using to record this video right now. I'm actually recording this in PowerPoint. Alright, so here we have our Draw tab ready to go. So let's click on that Draw tab and we'll see what kind of tools we have. We select a pen and then draw on the page. If I now use the lasso effect, and that's a little bit tricky to use, takes a little bit of practice. So there I've selected what I want, and a box appears to the right where I can choose to keep the ink that I made or convert it to a shape or math. Once I've converted it, I can always go back to my hand-drawn shape or retain the shape. Alright, so let's try another one. This one's more or less a square. Again, use the lasso to select it, and the icon opens to the right. If I choose math, it'll change it to the closest symbol that it thinks I might be trying to draw. In this case, it was a square I was trying to draw, so select this change in shape. Let's try that again. If I go directly to the ink shape, it still tells me to use the lasso, but if I choose ink to shape and then do the lasso, it changes it right to the shape. I don't need to click on the little icon to the right. A couple different ways to convert to text. Some work better than others. So I now select my text. If I choose this to the right, for some reason it chose ABA. It didn't recognize that it was a C. This is an important drawback of choosing icon to the right of what I've used the lasso around, is that it's uneditable. Okay, so I'm going to try this again using the ink to tool button rather than the icon to the right. And in this case, that ink to text worked more accurately. Let's try this with some math. Notice that my ink to math button at the top of my screen is grayed out. This is not the way to use ink to math, but I can still lasso my math work, and I do get the icon to the right again, and I can convert to text or shapes or convert to math. All right, so let's try that exact same equation again up at the top of the screen. And again, ink to math is grayed out, but I can use my lasso. Notice that I didn't quite get all the way around the 2, but it still selected the entire 2. But this time, it doesn't recognize the 2 as a 2. I've got a Greek letter in there instead. And now if I go to, I can undo that and try it again. See if I get better results. Sometimes you do. This time I got all the way around the 2. Still have the same shape box, and it's still not recognizing that 2 as a 2. At this point, you might want to try and edit this, and you might not know how to edit it. So if I try just clicking and dragging over it, if I try lassoing it, what I really need to do is just double click in there. It's now text. It is converted to text. It's treated like a text box. So if I double click in there, I can edit it. Now I want to resize this, and the issue I'm having is there's too many things on my page and I'm trying to get to the actual text. So finally I double click on the text and shrink the text. So I'm not able to resize the font by changing the size of the text box. Okay, so let's clear this out a little bit. And this time I'm going to click Ink to Math before I start writing, and this is how the Ink to Math tool at the top of the page is designed to work. So I'm going to write a little bit longer equation this time, and notice that it is predicting what it thinks I'm trying to write at the top, and as I continue writing my equation, it makes adjustments to its prediction. So there, as I keep writing a longer equation, the box does expand to allow for that. And when I'm finished, I can click Insert. If there were any corrections that needed to be made, then I could make those corrections before choosing to insert. Now that I've inserted this, a whole Math Design tab has opened up as well, so I can get to other math symbols. Now we will look at the inking tools that are available while you are presenting live. So this is the presentation mode. So if you're showing the slideshow on one screen and this is your view on your own device, these are the tools that you'll see available. So you have a pen, so you can write on the screen while you're presenting. You also have the ability to choose different ink colors. You can use a highlighter. Difference between a pen and a highlighter is, of course, you can see through the color in the highlighter. This is just a laser pointer to draw attention to wherever you need to draw attention on the screen. You can erase all the ink. Now this is just the ink that was created during the presentation, not inking that was created when you made the presentation. Other options you have are to be able to see all the slides, which doesn't help much when we only have one slide. You can also zoom into a certain section of the screen. Okay, the way this works is you click, and then you can drag it around to focus on a different part of the screen, or you can choose the part ahead of time. Okay, you can also go to a blank screen, and you have the ability to make that both a black screen or a white blank screen. And that toggles on and off, like so. I'm actually recording this slideshow, so I just click to pause my recording. And you can also reverse whether the teacher view or the public view is showing on your screen or the projector. And here's where you end the slideshow, and when you do, it asks whether you want to keep or discard the annotations you made during your slideshow. So those are some of the basics of using the inking tools both before